Good day to you, everyone. I welcome every one of you back to FIDE Geography Virtual Class. And before we start today's topic, Nigeria climate, I'd like to brainstorm everyone on our previous topics: Nigeria location, Nigeria position, Nigeria size, and political structure. And we can remember under Nigeria position, Nigeria is located in the West Africa. Nigeria is located in the West Africa, and under the position of Nigeria, Nigeria is located between latitude 4 degree north to 14 degree north and longitude 3 degree east to 15 degree east. Then apart from that, we talk about the Nigeria size, and we can remember Nigeria is the fourth largest country in Africa in terms of what? Land mass. I'm talking about in terms of land mass, Nigeria is the fourth after Mali, Niger, and Mauritania. Nigeria is the fourth. But we are talking about population. In terms of population, Nigeria is most populous country in Africa. That is, that's the environment where you have more people. We are talking about the total number of people living in a geographical area. In Africa, Nigeria is most populous, but in terms of landmass, Nigeria is the fourth. Then, apart from that, if you look at the other aspect, that is the country to the west. The country to the west, Nigeria is bounded to the west by Benin Republic, and to the north by Niger Republic, to the south by Atlantic Ocean, to the southeast by Republic of Cameroon, northeast by Chad Republic. Then apart from that, we also talked about the Nigeria relief and drainage. At least we are talking about relief, we are talking about the area which is 300 meters above the sea level and also below the sea level, that is islands and what and lowland area. If you can remember properly, then we have the Western Uplands or the Yoruba Uplands or Yoruba Highlands. We have the North Central Highlands. We have the Eastern Scape Land. We have Udi. And if you look at all this one, they are all barriers. They are all rugged surface. But if you can remember the North Central part, that is the North Central Highlands, we are talking about the Jaws. And mind you, the highest point around Jos is referred as Shere Hills. Shere Hills. And the river like River Kasinaala, River Adeja, Rima, they all take their source from the North Central Highland. And the same thing applicable to the Western or uplands or islands or Yoruba highlands that can be found in the western part of the country. We have some highlands there, but the major one are Idonre, Iyamopo, and also what? The Oluma Rock. If you look at all these islands can be found in the western part of the country. But aside that, we have river like River Ogun, we have River Oshe, we have River Owena. They all take their source from the western uplands and empty their tributaries into Atlantic Ocean. Then apart from this, we have the eastern Cape Land around the world, the eastern part. At least we are talking about the highlands. The highest point in Nigeria can be found in the eastern part of the country. If you look at that northeast properly there, we have Biu Plateau, Biu, the Biu Plateau. But for better understanding, let us do some work. Let's do some work we can remember during the time that we want to sketch map. There is procedure, that is, want to sketch map, you start from the left hand side and look at what I want to do now. Start from the left hand side. This is it. Then you continue like this. This is it. Then this is it. Then you return it back. Then let this one come up this way. Let it come. Then you open it this way. Then open it this way. Then let it come down. And it's come down again. Then you open. This is what the map of Nigeria. I want to explain further for better understanding. And as we look at this area, we are talking about the country to the west. This is where you have Benin Republic. This is Benin Republic. To the north, this is where we have Niger. To the northeast, this we have the Chad Republic. Southeast, we have Cameroon here. And look at this here, we have Atlantic Ocean. But remember, if you are talking about major rivers in Nigeria, we're talking about River Niger and River Benue. But River Niger is the longest river. The reason why River Niger is the longest is this. River Niger is the only river that take its source from outside the country. Rima take its source within the country. Ogun take its source within the country. Oshe take its source within the country. Cross take its source within the country. But if you look at River Niger take its source from the western part of the country, that is around Guinea. Look at what I want to do now. Look at it. This is River Niger. Look at it, River Niger now. Yes, this is Guinea. This is River Niger. Look at the source. Look at the source. Back to Nigeria here. Then, like this, River Benue. Can you see now that River Niger is the what? Is the longest. It takes off from the Guinea. This Guinea island now, pass toward the Mali, then back here towards to Nigeria. And apart from that here now, if you look at this one now, you can do something like this. We are talking about the longitudinal extent. Look at it. Do something like this. Do something like this. This will be what? Will be 4 degree north. 4 degree north. This is your 4 degree north. And this will be what? This will be 14 degree north. Be 14 degree north. It's 14 degree north. Why this place? What do you have here? If you can see it, you have 3 degree east. This 3 degree east here. Degree east. And look at it here. What do you have here? We have 15 degree east. That is longitudinal extent. This is 15 degree east. And look at it. This is the North Central Islands here. This is the North Central Islands. And this is the Western Uplands. We have the Western Uplands here, or Yoruba Uplands here. Then we have the Eastern Cape Lands. Around this area, we have the Eastern Cape Land. We have the Biu around this side. Biu. We have Cross here. And around this cross, the Obudu. We have Obudu here. If you look at this one, this simple illustration, the simple diagram, they can use for what? For further explanation. And apart from that, if you now look at it, we're talking about River Niger. River Niger as the longest river. Okay, let's now turn this map to West Africa. Look at what I'm doing. Very easy. Easy to do. I'm not afraid. It's not easy. It's easy. Look at it. This is the map of West Africa. Now, I've turned this to map of West Africa. This is West Africa now. Look at the position of Nigeria now. That means what? Nigeria is located in the West Africa, but bounded to the north by Niger, west by Benin, northeast by Chad, then southeast by Cameroon. And you can see what I've been doing. This simple illustration. But not to waste our time, let's start with today's topic. That is Nigeria climate. Nigeria climate. That's what I want to start now. And if you look at it, climate is not what a new topic. It is what you have been taught. But what makes this one to be different is this. We want to relate Nigeria climate to Nigeria. We want to relate normal climate to Nigeria before we only discussed about the meaning, the major element. But now we want to study Nigeria climate. We want to know more about Nigeria. We want to know the types of climate that we have. And that means at the end of this lesson, learners should be able to define climate. Learners should be able to identify the major types of climate. Learners should be able to sketch map of Nigeria and locate rainfall distributions, temperature distribution, and apart from that, learners should be able to mention at least four characteristics of each type of climate that we have in Nigeria. Then lastly, learners should be able to relate the characteristics or climatic condition of Nigeria with what farming system in Nigeria. With our farming system in Nigeria, that means that's the backbone. Without what knowing the climatic condition, if you cannot study the climatic condition of area, there will be issue. That means there's no way how you can be able to survive as what as a real farmer. You have to put that into consideration. And now, if you start now, let us start. We have the climate of Nigeria, but before we start, I remain your tutor once again, Harley Monday. We want to start from the climate definition. Climate is the average condition of the atmosphere over a long period of time, not ordinary long period of time, but over a very long period of what? Of time. And the elements of climate are rainfall, temperature, wind, relative humidity, pressure, cloud cover, and sunshine. If you look at it in our previous knowledge class also, we discussed about rainfall, the instrument, temperature, instrument, wind, instrument, relative humidity, pressure, cloud cover, and sunshine. As a geography student, you should be able to identify these major elements. You should be able to suggest the normal instruments for all the major elements of climate. Remember, climate can be defined as the average weather condition of the atmosphere over a long period of time. How many years at least? Averagely what? How many years? 21 years. The element of climate I said include rainfall, temperature, wind, relative humidities, cloud cover, among others. Okay, let's now look at them one after the other. If you look at the first one here, you have temperature. You have temperature as one of the major elements. And remember, if you want to define temperature, please don't use body. Don't use body. Temperature can be defined as the degree of hotness or degree of coldness of a place. And not only that, what the temperature of Nigeria is not uniform. And it has the following criteria, that is, if you look at Nigeria climatic condition, in each state, their temperature what varies. Their temperature what different. Their temperature are not the same. It varies from place to place. After you must have defined or give acceptable definition of temperature, if you are to suggest the major characteristics of temperature, that means the following are the major characteristics of climate in Nigeria. That is the major characteristics of temperature in Nigeria. Under climate, one, it varies from place to place. That means what? The temperature of place varies. It different from place to place. And not only that, it also varies with altitude. What's another word for altitude? Height. I repeat, altitude or height. That is why the higher we go, the more cooler it becomes. You can remember when we are solving some problems on lapse rate. At least when you are climbing mountains, the temperature always decreases. If you cover 1,000 meters, it will decrease. And if we cover 100 meters, it keep what decreasing. That means well, before you get to summit, if I may ask, what does it mean of summit? It means top. The temperature at the foot of the mountain is 29 degrees. If you started climbing the mountain, before you get to the top of the mountain, the temperature must decrease to at least how many? It must decrease totally to either around 3 degrees Celsius. It depends on the height of that mountain. That's why It varies with altitude. That means what? Environment where there's a barrier, there's always low temperature. Let us use Jos as a case study. Jos can be referred as one of the states that can be found in another part of the country. Anytime there's great intensive heat in other neighboring states, the temperature of the Jos is always what? Cooler. It's always decreases. It's always lower. Why? Because of the barriers that they have in the what? In the Jos, around Jos. That barrier now modify the climate. It make environment more conducive. It make the temperature of the environment to drop. And apart from that, it varies with season. That means during the dry season, the temperature will be different. During the wet season, the temperature will also what? It will be different. That means what we are going to experience during the rainy season will be different from what? From during the dry season. That is our temperature during the dry season different from during the wet season. And not only that, variation in annual rain. That is, after you must have what? Subtract your what? The days with what? With highest temperature minus day with lowest temperature. That is what? Month the temperature, monthly temperature. But if you are talking about annual, that is the month with highest temperature minus the month with what? With lowest temperature. That's what will give you your what? Your range. Then look at this map properly. I want you to study this map properly. If you can see this map here, I want you to get this better. That's why I decided to use this map for further explanation. If you look at this map now, this map is not just for the sign. I want you to get it better. And that is why I make use of this map. That is, what is the title of this map? This map can be referred as what? As temperature distribution in Nigeria. I repeat, temperature distributions in Nigeria. And if you look at the first one, what do we have there? Look at this color pink. Look at it. It has been interpreted. It means all this area is hottest area, over 27 degrees Celsius. But mind you, because I use this color, if your name is Ali, you can use the first letter. Let this first letter represent hottest area. If the second letter is L, you can represent this blue place or this location with what? With letter L. And interpretation will now be what? Moderately hot area. And you now use the letter E, the last letter, which is E. You can place it here where you have the green color, which means cool areas less than 24 degrees Celsius. But mind you, apart from that, take note of this important point. Lagos, Brass. Look at this word, Port Harcourt. Look at this Calabar side, this area. Can you see this, my arrow? This area. Those are the area that can refer as the coastal region. That is where there's no month without rainfall. There's no month without cloud cover. Then apart from that now, we have the wind. Mind if we are talking about the wind, wind can be defined as air in motion, but that definition is not complete without adding speed and direction. Wind can be defined as air in motion that has speed and direction. And we are not talking about this. We have the major types of local winds in Nigeria, four. And we look at this one, we have how many? Look at it, six. But we are talking about the major one. We are talking about the first four. Tropical maritime air mass, tropical continental air mass, equatorial easterlies, land and sea breezes. The next one is sea breeze, and we have the land. If you look at sea breeze and land breeze, they are not major, they are minor. But tropical maritime air mass, major, tropical continental air mass, equatorial easterlies, and we have land and sea breezes. Those are the major ones. Then you cannot add the sea breeze and land breeze there. Then apart from that, we have the rainfall. Rainfall simply means the amount of droplet of water from the atmosphere. And we are talking about this to let you know what this rainfall can be classified into different categories. You can remember we have conventional rainfall, we have cyclonic rainfall, we have orographic or relief rainfall. And we look at orographic is the types of rainfall that are associated with barrier with mountains. It's common in the environment where there's a barrier. It's common in the environment where there's mountains. Then, apart from that, we have the conventional, is the types of rainfall that we normally experience in the afternoon and is associated with great intensity. Then, apart from that, we normally experience this rainfall for a short period of time. We have cyclonics. This is the types of rainfall that are associated with wind. And we are talking about rainfall. One, rainfall in Nigeria is not uniformly distributed. That means what? The rainfall different, vary from one place to another. It is higher in the south due to the nearness to the sea and the effect of southwest trade wind, while it is light in the north. Rainfall decreased from the south 3,000 mm towards the north, decreased to 300 mm. Remember, remember the symbol I used, your primary symbol. Okay, do your elbow like this. Cough your elbow, cough your elbow, cough your elbow. Greater than, less than, greater than, less than. If you can remember, toward the north, the symbol that I make use of is what? Less than, less than. That means when you are traveling to the north, the amount of rainfall decreases. If you are coming toward the south, southern part of the country, southern part of the north, the temperature is always decreased. Likewise, what the rainfall is always increases toward the south. But if you are traveling to the north, the amount of rainfall decreases. Island area like Jos, Adamawa, etc. receive higher rainfall than the neighboring areas as a result of relief or orographic types of rainfall. I said it the other time. When you talk about the relief or orographic rainfall, this is the types of rainfall that formed or that associated with area where there's a barrier, area where there's a mountains, area where there's rugged surface. And you can see the where do we have major rugged surface? Jos, Adamawa, and Obodo. Rainfall also varies with season. Rainfall is heavier during the rainy season, that is within the month of March to October, than in dry season, that is November and February. That is during November dry season. It is only the coastal area that can experience cloud cover or rainfall. Why? Because most of the water side that we have, what those areas, they are not far away from the water. What do you think is going to happen? That means they are going to experience cloud cover. Let me show you those areas. This is what we are trying to explain. We look at this one. This is coastal area. This is coastal area. This one, is coastal area. Not all the blue. Lagos coastal area. Bra is what? Coastal area. This area is what is another one that we have here. Calabar here is also what? A coastal area. That's the information I'm trying to pass across to you. And we look at this one can be referred to as rain distribution. This map can be used for what? For rain distribution. You can see the area I painted with this word pink. You can see it means under 100 centimeters. Look at the other side. This middle that can also be referred as gaining area is around 100 centimeter to 200 centimeter. Look at the one that follow 200 centimeter to 300 centimeter. We have the last one. Look at the blue coastal area, Lagos, Browse, Calabar, Browse, Lagos, Calabar. That is it. They look at that environment. The amount of rainfall is what is over 300 meters above. Mind you, I made mention of three P's: point, pattern, process. Point, pattern, process. And is all these points signify or represent important towns or settlement. Then apart from that, we have the major season in Nigeria. And look at it, if I ask you now, maybe some people will say, in Nigeria we have three seasons. In Nigeria we have four seasons. No. In Nigeria, we have two seasons. That is wet or rainy season and dry season. And we look at the wet season. What is wet season? Wet season occurs between March and November. And look, what are the characteristics? During the wet season, there's high temperature. During the wet season, we have low pressure, prevailing wind, heavy rainfall. That is, temperature is higher in the north, that is between 33 degrees Celsius than the south 27 degrees Celsius due to the effect of the sun being at the Tropic of Cancer in June, and thus making the north to be hotter, while the moderating effect of the ocean reduces the temperature in the south in June. And apart from that, low pressure. There's low pressure in the north due to the high temperature in the Sahara in June and high pressure in the south in June. Prevailing wind. The prevailing wind is the tropical maritime air mass or south or the southwest trade wind, which blows from the high pressure belt areas in the south in June to the low pressure belt in the north. This then pushes the tropical continental air mass toward the north, where the intertropical front is formed. And heavy rainfall, that is, if you look at it now, it's common. Rainfall, rainy season. That means what? During that period of time, we are going to experience heavy downpour of rainfall. And we have the opposite. The first as dry season. And we look at what the dry season means: month without rainfall, periods without rainfall, exception of what of coastal area. Lagos, Calabar, Port Harcourt, cloud can form there. Why? Because those areas can be referred as coastal area. When there's high temperature, what do you think to happen? More water will find their way back to atmosphere through evaporation. It's just like as if you are boiling water at home, and when that water started boiling, just try and get maybe mirror or glass, just put it there. You see vapor. That is how the water you have been using will be escaping back to the atmosphere. And immediately what the cloud occupied enough water has already will be saturated with water, we are going to experience rainfall. That means in that environment, there's no month without cloud cover. The now characteristics of dry seasons. And before then, dry season occur between November and February with what? Low temperature, high pressure, prevailing wind, absence of rainfall, and what? An harmattan. Then apart from that, if you also want to look at it here, we have types of climate in Nigeria. And if you look at it, there are major types, four types of climate: sub-equatorial climate south, tropical hinterland or tropical wet, tropical continental or tropical dry, and dry, and we have high plateau. And if we look at sub-equatorial properly, sub-equatorial climate is the types of the climate that can be found in the south, in places like Warri, Lagos, Calabar, Port Harcourt. Let me show you the area again. Let me show you the area. Look at it. This is the map for that. Look at this blue side. You can see Lagos, you can see Brass, you can see Calabar. All those areas can be referred to what as equatorial area, that is sub-equatorial climate. Sub-equatorial climate. Then with the following characteristics. The following characteristics: one, it is found in the south in places such as Warri, Lagos, Calabar, Port Harcourt. It has heavy rainfall and over 2,500 mm per annum. This in a year. It has double maximum of rainfall in June and July and September and October with conventional types of rainfall. There is no month without rainfall, at least 50 mm. It has high temperature of about 27 degrees Celsius. It has no annual rain temperature, 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. It has a high relative humidity of over 90%, and it has long period of wet or rainy season in that environment. That means what? It can be rain within 6 to 8 months, the longest months, the longest raining season or month ever. And the next one is tropical hinterland or wet. Tropical hinterland and wet. And if you look at this tropical hinterland and wet, wet. Look at this tropical hinterland and wet climate. This climate is found in the forest area like Ibadan, Ilorin, Akure, Osogbo, Enugu, etc. Then apart from that, we look at it properly. It has moderate rainfall of 2,000 to 3,000 mm. It has 4 to 5 months of little rainfall. The wet season is roughly 6 to 7 months of the year, and aside that, it has double maximum of rainfall in the southern boundaries and single maximum in the northern boundary. It has high temperature of over 27 degrees Celsius. It has an annual range of temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. Then apart from that, we have tropical continental dry climate. And we look at it here now, this is also called the Sudan Savannah. When it's talking about Sudan Savannah in the north, and if you look at it, if you are talking about vegetation, those regions can also be referred to what as Sudan Savannah or vegetation area with dispersed grasses and scanty waterways or dispersed trees all over the places. And it can also be called Sudan climate. This climate is found in the north, around Sokoto, Bauchi, Kano, Borno. Rainfall there is between 500 to 1,000 mm per annum. There's a long period of little or no rainfall. That is, dry season is between 4 to 8 months. The relative humidity is low, between 20 to 40 percent. 40% rather in January and 50 to 60% in July. Then apart from that, the high temperature is throughout the year. That is 21 to 33 degrees Celsius and has high range of temperature. And the next one we have here is high plateau. That is, this is types of climate that can be found in a rugged places, in an environment where there's a barrier, where there's island. And where do we have barrier? Adamawa, Obudu, Mambila Plateau. And this climate is found around island area like Jos, Adamawa, Obudu, Mambila Plateau. Apart from that, another characteristic is this. It has heavy rainfall around Jos and it environs with 2,000 mm. It has moderate temperature between 21 degrees Celsius and 26 degrees Celsius. Temperature ranges between 8 degrees Celsius to 12 degrees Celsius. It has high relative humidities also. And that's all about the types of climate that we have. But there's no way we'll be talking about climate without what considering the relationship between climate or rainfall and agricultural or farming activities in that particular country. And if you look at it now, there's a positive relationship between climate and rainfall distribution, that is linkage between farming and what and climate. One, in an environment where there's rainfall throughout the whole year, that means what? There'll be cropping all around the whole year. That's why number one, rainfall throughout the year results in all year round cropping. Two, heavy rainfall 120, 150 to 200 cm result in the growth of tree and root crops. Heavy rainfall and humid conditions result in difficulties animal rearing. The environment will be more conducive in an environment where there's heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall promote the growth of weeds. That means what? You just be weeding your farm at least after every 6 weeks. Early rains in March to April result in planting from March to April. Two peaks of rainfall give rise to double cropping in a year. Light rains and heavy sunshine in November to February result in clearing or burning of bushes. And apart from that, here we have some here also, that is linkage between that. We have rainfall from April, that is, if there's rainfall from April to August, it leads to planting. That means so your planting range period will be between the month of April to August. Little amount of rainfall, 50 to 150 cm in a year, favor the growth of grasses. Little amount of rainfall, 50 to 150 cm in a year, favor the cultivation of rice. But mind you, rice can survive properly in an environment that can refer as waterlogged area. Maize, millet, groundnut, etc., which does not require heavy rainfall. That is, those are the crops that can survive there. Little rain, under 50 centimeters from September to March, and drying of grasses lead to movement of cattle. That's why immediately there's no more grasses, green pasture in the north, all those people started moving toward the south for them to be able to get the green pasture for their animals. Little rain under 50 cm from September to March leads to irrigation of crop in farms near water courses. Little rains and heavy sunshine from September to December favor drying and storage of crop. That is, all those things they have affected so far. It is now the time for them to be drying that. And before we start, we can see this map once again. That this map, we are just trying to use this one for more explanation, for more illustration. That is, look at this area. We have Lagos, we have Brass, and among others. If you look at those blue area, moderate and hot area. If you look at this area, what we think we say hottest areas. And look at the green, it means the cool areas, less than 24 degrees Celsius. Cool area, that is temperature has already low because of what? Of the presence of the barrier that we have there. This is where we are going to stop for today. Please, in case you have any question, try as much as possible to get across to me. And if there's anything you cannot even what you don't understand better, try as much as possible to write all those important points down, send it to Pris. You can start sending your question now. And if you cannot do that during our physical word class, then we are going to want to answer and unlock all those information that you still, it seems what you don't understand them better. And if you want to know more about how to sketch map of Nigeria for easier understanding, please you can see me for more practical, or I'll put you through online with 3D drawing. So that's where I'm going to stop for the day till next week. I remain your tutor once again, Harley Monday. Bye bye, everybody.